Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I've got a game for you between Miguel as our US, and his opponent today is going to be Lemontart as our Wehrmacht. Map today is going to be Famenville. You know, the video I uploaded yesterday, I was talking about how I hadn't seen Famenville in forever, and then I specifically went looking for a Famenville map. And today I just randomly found one looking through the CoDB top players, so here we are. I think this map is just a lovely map. I love how short and wide it is. Makes engagements happen quickly through the center. Leads to situations where both players can hang out in the middle and really just fight each other down. But there's also a lot of room for clever plays in the wings. So, looks like a fairly standard opening from our players here. Got scouts into riflemen for Miguel, while Lemontart is opening Triple Pioneer with Heavy Machine Gun. So going to have a mix of capturing power. Looks like he wants to challenge both field points to start us off here. And that Heavy Machine Gun is going to make that possible. Love these early field defenses here, making it possible for him to hang out in the middle. And you know, something I've been discovering recently in my own games is that field defenses against US, so if you're playing German and you're against US, field defenses can be a lot more annoying for your opponent to deal with unless they explicitly build a engineer, and a lot of times they won't. And what I mean is, with all the other factions, if you throw down sandbags, your opponent's going to barbed wire them off, and that can be super annoying. But with US, they just have these scouts, so they can't always do that. Have a machine gun repositioning here, going to keep these riflemen at bay. Pioneer's trying to finish that capture and then probably retreat here. So German player managing to walk away with control of both field points here, but I don't think he's currently... Yeah, that's not connected. But at least he's denying it to his opponent. And that's working out pretty well for him. Heavy machine gun not facing the right direction here, is flanked on three sides. Grenadiers here to help though. Heavy machine gun going to reposition once again. Scouts even coming around for a triple flank. And what a nice little play here by our US player, enveloping that heavy machine gun. And it does look like he's going to force him out of here. Well, should get one more burst off. Going to suppress those riflemen, take down a model. Pioneers finishing their capture, but now in deep trouble. Here come the riflemen on the left side, going to get in behind here. Grenadiers still full health. And going to be able to at least delay the inevitable here. Riflemen going to make it out. Scouts also going to be driven back from the looks of it. But here comes some more Pioneers to save the day, and I do think our German player is ultimately going to win this fight here, if only barely. Smoke grenades saving the scout. That's that Vet 1 ability, for those of you that don't know. So he took the Vet 1 ability on those scouts so that they could pop smoke on the retreat. Scouts and Pioneers still duking it out at long range here. Slowest fight in the history of skirmishes, but here comes some riflemen to put a quick end there. And it does eventually look like our US player is going to get his fair share of the resources, but German player up about a minute and a half here at least. 15 extra fuel ahead of his opponent, so nice little lead here. Grenadiers added on for our German player. Feels like we're going to see an infantry officer quarters from him. Typically with a build like this, I think infantry officer quarters can be pretty decent. Give everybody that little bit of veterancy, a little bit of XP gain. We'll see if he ends up wanting to do that. Does have a decent amount of fuel saved up, so we could be looking at... well, I'm not sure what he wants to do. You know, last patch... Excuse me. Before Opal Scorpion, I would have said Luftwaffe for sure. But in this new world of Opal Scorpion, Panzer Grenadiers have been a lot more popular. Of course, Jaeger's got a slight buff to bring them back a little bit after the last patch. And interesting separation there. Scout's going to pop smoke from their rifle grenade to block off this heavy machine gun, allow these riflemen to engage with these Grenadiers. This barbed wire actually doesn't look like it's quite close enough, potentially. Hard to say, but Pioneers coming out of the smoke there should put a quick end to this fight. I do think our US player is going to have to retreat, and he is. But it's just going to be more Grenadiers for our German player, and he is going to go for infantry officer quarters after that 3rd Grenadier. So that's going to be a nice little power spike for him. US player is going for the infantry support center, so going to have a captain coming out very soon here. And we'll see where he wants to go from there. Motor pool with riflemen's been relatively popular lately. No battle groups locked in just yet, so big fight here. Riflemen surrounded on all sides, though. Not going to have a very good time, but closing the gap with these Grenadiers on the top side. Grenade coming down. Not going to connect, and those Grenadiers got to get out of there. But man, these have been some extended fights. It feels like, you know, I'll zoom in on an area and it's just squad after squad after squad walking into the same area to extend a fight that's been going on for ages. I mean, over here, we saw the fight earlier, but oh man, German player really driving his opponent back into his base here. And this is the power of the Triple Pioneer opening, I think. You know, you just get so much capturing power, so many units on the field letting you be everywhere at once. And I think that's what makes this build so strong. Triple Grenadier, of course, strong for the same reason. But we'll see how that scaling goes into the mid-game, right? I mean, you can't retain that veterancy and still upgrade your Grenadiers. Those Pioneers very fragile as the game goes on. So see how that ends up working for him. Mine going down there. By the way, I love this from our German player, using his low-health Grenadiers to capture territory. You see that you see that from some players, but not all, and I think it's universally a good idea, at least to consider, right? There will be situations where it's not a good thing. By the way, Panzer Grenadier Company on the way. But, I mean, using your low-health units, they're already in an area, and if they can capture territory before they have to go home and heal up, then I think that's a win. Heavy machine gun going to face down the full might of our US player here. Rifleman finding that recently planted mine. Heavy machine gun not quite facing the right direction. Unfortunately setting up. I don't think our US player has grenades. He doesn't, but he is going to get in behind that heavy machine gun and force him back. Pioneers also going to be driven back, and looks like our players are just going to trade halves of the map here. German player going for that cutoff point right out front of his opponent's base. Probably going to see him even go for that guaranteed field point attached to the that base sector there. And here comes a Greyhound. Greyhound going to be pretty decent here. Has to be careful of those Panzerfaust though. And looks like we're going to see some skirmishes all around. So what is, I mean, Panzer Grenadier Company added on. We're going to see, I mean, Stuhl very popular. Yeah, it does look like it's going to be Panzer Grenadiers. Of course, he doesn't know about this Greyhound. What I'm trying to get at here is what is going to be his answer to this Greyhound, and it's going to have to be an AT gun, I imagine, unless we see him lock in one of these one of these battle groups and invest in that. You know, personally, I've been really enjoying Panzer Grenadiers into Stugs. Okay, he is going to switch out to an AT gun there, so that totally makes sense. Grenadier is going to have to retreat in the face of the Greyhound there. And Captain not in a great spot. Will manage to finish that decapture. And look at those victory points, man. German player doing a really, really good job controlling the flow of this game. Faust's going to come out, slow down this Greyhound's advance. Heavy machine gun's going to have to flee. Pioneers trying to finish this capture, but I don't think that's a place they want to be. That's going to be a super bad retreat path. These Pioneers did try to grab that guaranteed fuel point, but it is in fact guaranteed and is going to be driven off by the full might of the US Army there. Pioneers escaping despite the bad retreat path. AT gun is added on. We're probably going to see that hang out near the middle, potentially even mirroring the movements of the Greyhound throughout. US player has a little bit of a window here. He has gone for the armored battle group, right? So he got that fast deployment, which by the way saw a nerf last patch. So it's only 50% increased productivity instead of 75% on those buildings, letting these units get out pretty darn quick though, still. And of course he does have the Vet 1. Did he pick decap on this guy? It's not going to show me in this view. US player, or German player, did lock in the mechanized battle group, and we see this 8-rad added on. 8-rad, a great answer to the Greyhound, especially in combination with this pack. And there are more mines here. That's a German mine. Jeez, real deep on that mine, but did find it with those sweepers. Pack gun trying to chase this Greyhound. Doesn't have sight of him just yet. Is going to see him now, but Greyhound getting out of vision there. Could see some more Faust coming out. Fights breaking out on the bottom side. 8-rad in a good fight against that retreating unit. Didn't see what it was, but Greyhound also going to drive back these Grenadiers. This AT gun in a really rough spot. Could easily get flanked here. Rifleman being chased back into the base by the 8-rad. And that could be a dead Rifleman, man. He's going to go all the way into his base. US player still doesn't have grenades here, so that's a dead Rifleman, I do believe. But the bluff going to push him back here. Nicely done, bluffing like he has grenades. Running those Riflemen straight at the 8-rad, knowing full well that he couldn't do any damage, so nice bluff. And interesting. So let's take a quick look at the field repairs. No real surprise there. He's gonna skip over the recovery vehicle. He's gonna get the manpower discount. Kind of feels like we're gonna see a Chaffee here. Guess we'll find out. I did want to check what that Vet 1 ability was, but it's too much action going on. We do see a second 8-rad on the field. Do love 8-rads into the face of these Greyhounds here. They can do decently against one another. And as I say that, we see the Greyhound completely dominating the fight, and it is going to be a Chaffee next for our US player. Greyhound getting aggressive here. Double 8-rad and AT gun repositioning. Both units just going to scuffle. No real damage there. We do see, engineers added on. Those have been around for a little while now. But going to be able to repair up. Pack gun taking a shot here into the fog of war, not connecting. Just attacking ground there. Double 8-rad covering the pack gun there. Gonna make it easy to get away. Rifleman coming out of the smoke. Nope, gonna hang out in the smoke. Here comes the Chaffee, super aggressive. And pack gun out of position here. And smoke popped. Faust popped as well to slow down the Chaffee, preventing the dive. Smoke actually working against the German here. Pack gun gonna attack ground into the smoke. Not going to happen. 8-rad's in jeopardy here. Second Faust. Doesn't have any munitions. Is going to have some, but is going to lose one of those 8-rads, and pack gun going down. And what a nice little push here by our US player. Picking up one of the 8-rads despite all the units hanging around. Another Faust popped. And Rifleman going to grab the pack gun here. Facing the 8-rad potentially. Nope, just going to run with it. Grenadiers trying to slow this down. And what a freaking push that was. Lemontart hurting after that one. Jeez. So what went down there? It was the 8-rad in pack. But Chaffee made it out unscathed. And so did the Greyhound here. Already veteran C2. Well, we have a quick moment of quiet. I'm going to check what upgrade he took on that. Yeah, he took the decap. So he can sit on points and decapture them with the Greyhound. I personally love the canister shot, but you have to use it very aggressively, and that can be pretty awkward when we're talking about Grenadiers or Jaegers, neither of which, well, Jaeger's not in this game currently anyway. Pack gun was re-added here. Pioneers in full retreat. Both players getting their fair share of resources. So despite the losses for our German player, our US player has invested heavily into his light vehicle tech, and if we can see our German clean out any of these light vehicles, he's going to be feeling pretty good. Unfortunately for our German player, does have to deal with the fact that his pack gun was stolen, and it's going to make that 8-rad a little bit less effective here. Chaffee on anti-infantry mode there, doing okay against those units. And pack gun actually connecting with the Greyhound there, and a Faust going to finish him off, so one little mistake. And that unit's going to go down. Minesweeper's trying to clean out this mine, but heavy machine gun going to put a stop to that. Chaffee trying to help out, but Not doing a whole lot here. Here comes the pack gun. House being used as cover. So pack gun does not currently have a shot on the Chaffee there. I love this feature, by the way, the line of sight. Chaffee going to clean out the mine with attack round. Love to see that. Making use of all his units' abilities there, showing his map awareness. Grenadier's just going to grab up some territory on the top side, and another heavy machine gun being added on for a German. By the way, on this map in particular, I love heavy machine guns just because how long it takes you to walk all the way to the edges. And if you put a heavy machine gun in those houses, it can require a significant investment by your opponent. He knows there's a mine there, he just doesn't know where it is. It's right there. He doesn't quite know. I mean, we saw him reveal that mine much earlier in the game. But yeah, heavy machine guns in the wings of this map can be super annoying, requiring a large investment by your opponent. Pack gun, stolen pack gun doing a shot on the 8-rad, but 8-rad sitting back far enough is going to be fine here. Still no grenades from our US player, which is a little surprising considering just how good they are these days. 8-rad in a bad spot, might go down here. One more shot, not going to happen. But Greyhound re-added, 8-rad charging as well. Excuse me, Greyhound, I should say. I think I said 8-rad. That's okay. I say the wrong thing a lot. Chaffee going all the way into the base is going to find this 8-rad here. And nice little aggressive move there, recognizing that his opponent only has one pack gun, which has been destroyed here. And rifleman, maybe scouts on the way to try and steal. Heavy machine gun going to be forced back. And I don't think I've ever seen AT guns be this bad on this map. I mean, our US player has done just an amazing job flanking and wiping out units from his opponent. I mean, that we saw it early game with the heavy machine gun where he had that beautiful envelopment. And this game has been no different. Just snaking all sorts of opportunities. Did that AT gun... Yeah, it looks like it went down. Did it get destroyed? It must have. Yeah, I think he destroyed it. So, well done. So where does our German player go from here? Looks like it's going to be Panther Heavy Tank Collins. Does have plenty of fuel for that. Not enough manpower. Interestingly enough, going for another pack gun here. And it's going to be more Greyhounds for our US player. Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I mean, I feel like a Panther is just what the doctor ordered here for our US or for our German player, right? He's going to be able to deal with the Chaffee. He's going to be able to deal with the Greyhounds. But he might even need 2 Panthers before he's being effective. So probably what we're thinking here is that AT gun is to act as a deterrent, and then hopefully he can transition into a Panther with the support of the pack gun, and that way if he gets rushed, he at least has some extra chances there. Pack gun revealing itself, trying to pick up that Greyhound. But, oh my god, I just looked at the victory points, and our US player on thin ice here. I've just been so obsessed with the fact that our US player has been wiping units left and right that I did not notice the victory point situation. So, I mean, good news for our German player, despite being behind here, has put himself in a great position, has plenty of time to sort himself out here. Has about 1.5 million fuel, so doesn't even need to control the fuel points, at least for a little while here. And mines going down, but are going to be instantly revealed here. Didn't finish it, yeah. So is going to escape there. U.S. player capturing everything on the map. Feels like our German player is wanting to like shore up his army here, but another Greyhound on the way. Going to continue to make life miserable for this pack gun. Big push on this top side. German player really just needing to slow the bleeding here. But Greyhound's going to come into the base, recognizing that all the infantry on that top side, pack gun in a bad spot here. Grenadier's going to have a Faust. Has basically no munitions income though, so those Fausts are going to be extremely limited. Pack gun repositioning, but Greyhound going to get out of the way. We do see a canister shot from this particular Greyhound, and this is just going to be a manpower sink here. Going to bleed out his opponent's manpower as best he can. Pioneers hiding away behind all the buildings here. Having to spend some APM here, and this is very frustrating, right? I mean, the only thing holding our German back from a Panther is manpower right now. But might be able to clean up this Greyhound, which would be freaking huge. Does look like he's going to get it. Greyhound's coming out of the base, hitting a bunch of mines on their way out. One of the Greyhounds going down. Can he get the second one? That would be freaking huge. You can pick up any of these Greyhounds. Pack gun cannot be mounted. This Vet 3 Grenadier in deep trouble there. And look at all those squad wipes. Wow. Yep. And Grenadier's going to have to roll up to this top side. But they are going to get pushed back here. And, well. Yeah. Just the overwhelming number of... I'm dumbfounded on what to say here, because our U.S. player just recognized his strength, rolled into the base, and just squad wiped everything. I mean, we do see that these Grenadiers are still alive, but down to only 4 squads here is going to have a really, really rough go of it. But there's no way our German player gives up this game with 29 points to go. I mean, I would probably surrender here, but it's only because I'd be mad. You know, feeling like I'm so close to victory, but just not seeing a way back into this game. Okay, the good news is Panther right now. So this Panther could turn things around a bit. Doesn't really have any capturing power. Is going to try and get back his pack gun here, but that Grenadier having a really bad retreat path. These Riflemen should. Rifleman plus Greyhound should be able to pick up that Grenadier on his way out. And that's going to be another unfortunate loss for our German player. Panther rolling out, though. Should get a shot on this Greyhound. Not going to see him. And Chaffee even chasing down some Pioneers. Those Pioneers are going to have a bad retreat path, too. Could see them go down. Panther's going to try to save the day, but I don't think it's going to be in time. And wow. Yeah. Yeah, I think that pack gun, when I said, you know, a few minutes ago, if that had been if he had saved for a Panther instead of throwing out another pack gun, I think that this game could be completely different. That's not to say that this game would be in our German player's favor, but that pack gun got stomped. It was manpower he needed for the Panther. It was just a tough situation, I would say. You see a second AT gun added on for a U.S. player helping out here. Now, German player's building back his numbers here a little bit. Doesn't have any Pioneers, unfortunately, for him. So he's going to swing up to this top side, but U.S. player responding, leaving just enough units on the bottom side to make this happen. And yeah, this is going to be really tough, even with this Panther at this point. Especially when they keep getting side armor shots there. Taking out this Panther. Panther gets a good shot on the Greyhound, but here comes the Chaffee AT gun combo. And this Chaffee is unafraid. But this pack gun should help out here a little bit. Gonna drive back to Chaffee, keep the Panther safe. I mean, this is why he added on the AT gun, is this exact situation. Heavy machine gun not focusing the correct unit. High veterancy Grenadiers going down there. And the triple cap's gonna be on once again for our German. Gonna be feeling the heat here. Finally, grenades for our U.S. player. Driving back those Grenadiers. Pack gun having a bad retreat path. Still no Pioneers on the field to repair this Panther. I'm wondering if we're going to see another Panther instead of Pioneers. Like, yep. Yeah, very tough spot for a German player. You know, this is how these guys get to the top of the scene, right? They don't quit games. And they definitely don't quit games that are this close. So, no surprise here from lemontart staying in this game. because he definitely has a shot. It's only going to take a couple mistakes from our U.S. player to let him back in. If he relaxes his grip on any of these victory points for long enough, if he drops the Chaffee or the Greyhounds, right, I mean, there's opportunity here. But it is going to take a monumental effort from our German player. Scout's going to find this heavy machine gun. Pioneers finally added on to repair up the Panther. And it's going to be a tank depot next for our U.S. player. Feels like we might see some Hellcats potentially. I don't know what he needs. I think if it were me, I would add a Hellcat. But he could just want a frontline brawler. So potentially a bulldozer. Not for the anti-tank, but for the tankiness and utility. Grenadiers in the smoke, unable to capture. Love that grenade from those riflemen. But here come the Greyhounds. Pack is ready. Heavy machine gun is also ready. But oh my god, dude, those high-vet Greyhounds hitting every shot. Absolutely shredding those riflemen, or those Grenadiers there. But here comes the repaired up Panther. AT guns waiting. Heavy machine gun shifting up to that SOP side. Riflemen just hanging out in the house. I think this is really smart play from our U.S. player, just leaving a few units out where he needs them. And with our U.S. player nearing pop cap, I'm not actually sure what tank he can add on here. I don't know the pop cap values of the tanks. Greyhounds pushing in with the support of the AT guns, going to remove the heavy machine gun from the area. Taking a few shots on that Greyhound, but able to make it out. I think they get extra health at Vet 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they do. So they can survive one extra shot from the AT gun Panther combo. Scouts unable to be removed by the Panther. AT guns continuing to do their thing. Panther sneaking out of max range there. Heavy machine gun did get pushed back on that top side. Here come the riflemen. And I think we are nearing the end of the game here, folks. 80 points to go. You know, I don't actually know the clock, but I can tell you it's not very long. I really should learn the tick rate. Finally, grenade's gonna absolutely wreck the heavy machine gun. Chaffee trying to help out, actually getting the killing blow there. Panther and AT gun gonna push the Chaffee back. Yeah. Yeah. What a beautifully executed game by our U.S. player. I mean, he had some just amazing flanks. Using sight blockers, coming in from all angles. He did it multiple times, in multiple situations. It was just very, very cool to see. I mean, that first fight with the heavy machine gun up here, that he nearly won. I mean, if that fight had gone any differently there. Oh, and I forgot that our U.S. player has access to Easy 8, so of course that's going to be what he adds on here. Grenadiers trying to grab this center point, but not able to finish the capture. Heavy machine gun in a bad spot there. Here comes the Greyhounds, blocking off the AT gun there so they can clean out this heavy machine gun. Panther trying to help, missing its shots, and that's going to be the end of the game. Wow. Yeah, monumental damage difference there. Yep. What a great game. I'm just trying to think if there's anything our German player could have done differently. It really comes down to that AT gun that should have been a Panther. But of course, if that had been the case, it would have been a totally different game. Any number of things could have changed there if we'd gone down that route. But just beautifully executed by our US player. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.